What's up? This week I'm focusing on some seasonal fruit. I've got a friend that's given me a truckload of plums that I don't know what to do with. I've eaten more than enough and I thought, what could I use it for? And I've decided to go with like a plum pie or what Americans sort of like to call a plum cobbler. Now I've gone with a peach and plum combination, work wonderfully together. And it's got a nice scone sort of top to it, a scone top rather than like a pastry top to our pie. Absolutely wonderful. First time I've actually made it myself, and I'm very happy with the results, so I hope you will be too. And there's always all sorts of variations you can do with these cobblers, and they're amazing little dessert.
First thing we need to do is bake our plums. Now this gives us a chance to make our plums a little bit softer if they're a little bit underripe, but if they're ripe you might want to just forego the step and then add in a few spices later, but it also gives us a nice chance to flavour our plums also. So we're going to begin with a 1 cinnamon stick, just crack it in half in a tray we've got here, and followed by 1/4 cup of white sugar. Just mix everything around so it's nicely coated. We don't add any liquid, it'll cook out of the plums when we bake it. So this is going to go into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for roughly around 15 minutes, just until the plums start to soften. Make sure you don't burn them, you've got sugar on them, so just keep an eye on them. Get them out of the oven and allow them to cool. While we're waiting for our plums in the oven, we can work on the cobbler itself. Now it's like a scone mixture, so we're going to begin with 1.5 cups of just plain flour, followed by 1/3 cup of white sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. These are our dry ingredients, and we're just going to add in the liquid ingredients now. 1/3 cup of melted butter. Just make sure it's cold, so you don't want hot butter. And followed by 1/4 cup of milk at room temperature, and finish things off 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. All we're going to do is just give this a nice big mix around into a nice dough-like consistency. It shouldn't be too wet, it shouldn't be too dry, it should be nice and firm. You could make a nice dough ball like we've got here. And just set this aside until we get our filling all sorted. Once our plums have cooled sufficiently, we can mix these in with our peaches. So into a large bowl, just stick in our plums, remove that cinnamon stick from earlier, followed by 2 cups of peaches. Now these can be tin peaches like I've done, or these can be fresh peaches that you've just quartered. Mix these around, and once they're mixed, we're going to stick in 1 tablespoon of cornstarch or corn flour. This will help get all the liquid and make it into a nice sort of thick syrupy mixture in our filling. Give it another mix around until we're all sorted, and this is our filling. Nice and easy, doesn't need anything else added to it. And we're going to stick this into our pie dish, roughly around 19 centimeters, just a standard pie dish. And our dough that we prepared earlier, all we're going to do, really simple, is just pick off little pieces of dough and scatter these randomly across the top of our pie. You may want to leave a center piece like I have that doesn't have any of the dough across the top of the pie. It's just purely for looks. To finish things off, we're going to add some almond slithers just across the top, scatter them. It's just for a bit of a nutty flavour, followed by a light dusting of caster sugar. This will just bring a little bit of sweetness to the top of our crunchy dough once we cook it. Now this pie is going to go into the oven for roughly around 30 to 40 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, or until the top of our pie has got a really nice golden crisp brown. Whack it out of the oven, allow it to cool. You can serve it as is, or a little bit of ice cream on the side, bit of cream. Entirely up to you how you want to eat it. But it's really, as you can see, really quite simple to throw together. It took me less than 15 minutes to whack it into the oven. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to leave any comments, subscribe, share, like, you name it. I'll see you possibly next week with a new video.